Hey everybody, it's MrFloridaFlipper back out here in the garage, ready to do another video. And today we're going to talk about how the CEO of GameStop wants to buy eBay, and I kind of understand why. Let's get into it. So the first thing, why I think so many sellers would be happy if GameStop bought eBay is because sellers aren't happy right now. Fees are high, shipping's high, promoted listings are out of control now. Promoted listings, if you don't do it, your sales go down. If you do it, eBay's taking more of your money out of your pocket. And with the new way they do promoted listings, you don't even know if the promoted listings are actually working, because it doesn't matter if somebody that didn't click on the promoted listing buys the item, it still counts for promoted listing. Seller support, I actually don't have too much of a problem with the seller support that we currently get. Anytime I usually need to get in contact with eBay, you just kind of have to fight through the system to get to an agent. It's one of those things with every company nowadays, is you have to really work to get to a human. Like, you have to go through the process with the chatbot to get to it. So to me, it's annoying, but it's something that I've come to grow up with expecting. As I made my way into adulthood, it just became the norm that you kind of had to go through a chatbot to get to a human. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. It's annoying for sure. I definitely would like some better customer service, but I know that's a big thing a lot of sellers talk about. And let's see what else we have. Stagnant platform feel. The platform hasn't changed really all that much. The biggest change is probably the photo search. That has gotten better over the years. It used to be, even like a couple of years ago, when you would take a picture of an item to look it up in eBay to see if it's sold or had comps or any other listings, maybe it would bring up like one listing that was the right thing, but then it would bring up a whole bunch of stuff that was completely not even your thing. The last few months, I've noticed that it has gotten a lot better, in that the pictures, usually it will bring me up a lot of stuff. A big point of it too was might find it when I search, but then when I would change to completed or sold listings, it would bring up things entirely not related to what I was looking up. And that doesn't seem to be as much of a problem anymore. So there's a little point for eBay there. But definitely the stagnant feel. When you're looking up completed and sold listings, sometimes it doesn't bring up the right things. Just the platform itself can be very clunky for sellers, especially finding where your coupon you get for your subscription. Nothing's very easy to find. There's so many layers and different options. You could do a whole video about how to run your eBay store effectively, just because of how many layers, and the barrier to entry is kind of high on eBay, honestly, once you start getting past just selling a few things a month. So continuing on with that stagnant feel, I think people look at companies like Whatnot, where you make an account, hook up a bank account, have some items, run a video, and sell them. It's pretty simple, honestly. I don't prefer it. I've only done a few Whatnot shows, but it's a easier barrier of entry for new sellers, and it's a lot easier even for more experienced sellers to just go on, sell your items, and be done. These are the reasons why people are saying they'd be glad if GameStop bought eBay, because we know what's wrong with eBay. But what would GameStop bring to eBay? So first off, they have a big collectible market. They do the card grading now, which I have done a couple times. It does make it really convenient. I never graded cards before until I got the email that GameStop started doing it and would ship it and take care of the whole process for you. And I think it's a little cheaper than doing it yourself. I'm sure they get like some kind of bulk discount. The retro gaming app overlap, physical stores, that helps. The CEO was talking about, I know he was saying that he wanted to have people to bring their items to authenticate them there, and then I guess sell them from there. I'm not really sure. But I think there is some overlap, especially with the video game and collectible space, some overlap there. But I'm not really a big video game seller, and video games and collectibles are becoming harder and harder to come by. A lot of people know about them, and they know the value. So for me, that overlap doesn't really matter as much. The biggest thing that Ryan kind of brought up, which if you don't know, Ryan Cohen is the CEO of GameStop right now. And he has a lot of incentives for GameStop to do really well. He gets a lot of different stock options, bonuses, and things like that if he meets certain goals, and he has hit a lot of them already. The GameStop thing during the COVID era. GameStop went from a company that was worth $4 a share to a couple $100s, and then now it's settled about $25 a share. So I think he definitely has an incentive to build up hype around, anything he can to help boost the stock of the company, which I love GameStop. It's actually kind of sad a GameStop near me closed. They've closed a lot of locations recently. And Ryan Cohen has said that that's part of his strategy of making a smaller footprint, keeping the stores central to where bigger cities are and not as many in one area. I mean, I think at one point in my town, I had 3 GameStops, and I have a medium-sized or small town, I would say. But now we have one on the south side of town and one on the north side of town. So kind of changed over time for sure, and I'm sure it's like that for a lot of people. I think that he mentioned he has over 1,600 GameStops in the United States, which is a big amount of stores, but I'm sure it's a lot smaller than it used to be. The thing that I was wanting him to talk about, which reason that I would want GameStop to buy eBay, is simply for a fact that he never mentioned, which would be shipping locations. I think that we should be able to pack up our orders and drop them off at GameStop instead of having to go to the post office or FedEx or UPS. I don't know about you, but giving you another place to take your packages definitely helps. The post office isn't very far from me, but there's some days where I forget to schedule a pickup, or I don't feel like going to FedEx or UPS. And there's a GameStop, well, there used to be one down the street, that one's gone now, but I'm sure there's other people that have GameStops maybe closer or the same distance as a postal service. And it would be nice, but I know with Amazon, they've started letting people return things to Staples, Whole Foods, Winn-Dixie, which is a store in Florida and I think in the South still, a grocery store. There's not many of them left. But I've even seen like Kohl's, a clothing store, to be able to return your items to. So if eBay had that option where you could take your items to GameStops, where maybe even they could possibly pack your item for you for a small part of the fee. Get rid of the seller fees that you have and offer that as an option. I would take advantage of that. I would just like eBay to feel like they're working for their money. I understand they have the platform, they have the audience, but I feel like that's one of the other big things that Ryan Cohen recently talked about in his Justin Resells video. He kind of talked about how eBay is just like all the other big companies, and he would like it to be more mom and pop shop, which I don't really know his past ventures. I know he had owned Chewy, founded Chewy, and he now works at GameStop. But I think we do need more companies whose CEOs have skin in the game, like he said. And he did make a very good point. He said that, the sellers are our real customers, and they are. You can say that all the buyers are customers, which everyone's a customer for sure. And buyers are super important. We love our buyers. Without buyers, there would be no business. But the sellers are the ones that bring the product to eBay for people to buy. So we need to make sure we take care of our sellers first. I work for a company called Publix, and the founder said something that I think kind of applies here, is that if you take care of your employees, they'll take care of your customers. And I think that's true. If you take care of the sellers at eBay, they'll take care of the customers, which we do. Unlike Amazon, we are the ones that handle the returns. We handle the shipping back and shipping to. We handle the packaging. We handle the sourcing. We handle the whole thing. And eBay is the platform that we list our items on, that we use their tools. And for sure, they're very useful. And we are thankful for you, eBay. But you need to work with us. It's time for a change. I don't think that the GameStop thing would really work out, but I think that we do need something to help make it more stable for us as sellers to sell on eBay. With the crazy world that we live in, with shipping prices out of control, we need eBay to step in as the big guy and help out the little guy. We need eBay fighting for us on shipping prices. We need them to go to UPS or USPS and get the best rates they possibly can. Knock it down, even if eBay had to absorb some of the cost. Put that out there in a newsletter. People would rally around eBay for doing something like that. But it seems like most companies these last few years, it's just a money grab after a money grab. And I'm not here to tear down eBay. This is how I want to make my living. I do it as a part-time job, and I've been doing it for over 15 years. And I love it. And I'm a stockholder. I buy eBay stock. This is not financial advice, by the way, but I do. And it's done well lately, especially with this news of this guy from GameStop coming to buy eBay. Now, ultimately, they offered about a $56 billion buyout, and eBay declined flat out and said that they're not interested at any kind of deal like this, and they didn't think it was serious anyways. But something interesting is Ryan Cohen has slowly been buying up eBay stock, probably pushing the price up as well. He's bought almost 5% of eBay through stock acquisition, and that's not a small part of a company. I mean, owning 5% of a multi-billion-dollar company is pretty insane. And he's even said that he would do about $125 per share buyout, depending at what the share price is at the time, which I think of as this recording, I think it's well over $100 a share right now. And I think even less than a year ago, it was $50 to $60 a share. So definitely has gone up in value. So eBay's doing something right. All their different changes they've made are making them more money. And it's time for them to share some of the pie with their sellers. We need a break. Throw us a bone. As a small reseller, very small, we're hurting. We need to get together, and the leaders of these companies to stop looking at spreadsheets and start looking at the people that are making their business run. So this is my plea. I don't think that GameStop is a best fit for eBay, but I think eBay needs to be the best fit for their sellers. Now, do I think there's different things that GameStop and a CEO like Ryan could bring into eBay? For sure. I think that it would be a total shakeup, but I don't want this platform, being eBay, to be like the other selling platforms. I don't want to do whatnot. I wouldn't mind doing live selling, but I don't want to do it all the time. And I know that the buyers out there are much better quality than buyers from any other platform. And I'm proud that eBay has cultivated that. I don't want to be like Amazon with third-party sellers reselling junk from China. Just something special about eBay's setup. We go out into the wilds and find one-of-a-kind items, vintage items, and bring it to the masses to relive our childhood or just to have a fun gift. I have bought so many things from eBay, and I will continue to support other sellers on the platform. But I think it's time eBay take a page out of our book and give back a little. eBay, if you're out there and you hear me, come on, throw us a bone and let's work together. Make sure you're listening to the sellers. Just like there's no resellers without eBay, there's no eBay without resellers. So let's join hands and let's work together. But that's about going to do it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. A little different one, kind of a little topic. A couple things sold here and there. We're still waiting on something to sell on that connect I got on Whatnot. Some of the items I bought from him. I still haven't sold anything from him. Usually I'd say it takes an item about 30 days to kind of flow through the eBay algorithm and kind of get out there to people. Definitely some offers out there that I've had, but nothing yet. But I can't wait to see you guys next time. This is Mr. Florida Flipper, and I'll see you on the other side.